Welcome to the Spurs 9501 podcast. From Kane to the Lane, the final say on all things Tottenham. Here are your hosts, Steve, Ray, Cam and Jam.
Everybody, welcome back to the Spurs 9501 podcast. I've got one of our previous guests with us, Sayan from Kolkata Spurs. Hello, Sayan. Welcome back.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Sayan. It's good to see you again. Good to speak to India Spurs. Sayan, I wanted to talk to you about what's been happening in the last few days. And everybody knows that Conte, he was potentially going to be our new manager after we couldn't get Poch back, and now it's all fallen to pieces. So just give us your thoughts about the whole Conte situation and what you think went wrong.
I mean, again, it's another, bottle job that we have seen, I guess. So Spurs have successfully let us down even without playing a match. That's what I can say. So, yes, as Alistair Gold was saying the other day. So everything was going good. Things said to be looking fine. And at the, just after 24 hours, boom. I mean, we're seeing, the Spurs are not interested anymore. Our Spurs are pulling back. I mean, this is again, a typical, Daniel Levy trying to, put his own policies in form, and not willing to change. So this is, that is just a replica of that. I mean, we can't see anything else apart from that.
Yeah, I mean, the talk here is because the season ticket renewal deadline was on Wednesday. So they said that people are saying they had this as just a scam, really, to get people to renew their season tickets because they thought Conte was coming. And then as soon as the deadline was over, they just killed it. Do you think there's any truth in that?
I see. Look, season ticket holding is not something which I'm very much accused of because I'm from India. So It might be something that would concern people in London, and they might be right in that way. Don't get me wrong. It might be to get all those cash inflows coming to Spurs, and that's how they create that hype. It might be the possibility, but I don't see in that way. I mean, it's something that I see on a different note. I see it as a typical levy doing a typical levy stuff here. So that's all how I see it.
So if we talk about the two managers, Conte, there's obviously two very different managers. Poch is going to build a project. He's going to bring young players through. You're looking to 3 to 5 years before you see the fruits of that. Whereas Conte comes in, spends money, buys proven players, gets success within 1 or 2 years, and then he moves on to the next project. Which type of manager do you think is best suited for Tottenham at this current stage where we are now?
Look, I mean, it all depends on how much money we are going to spend. So if we are okay to spend, players, spend on players, I mean, look, let's be very frank. I mean, it's time we should admit the fact that Harry Kane can leave this season. And if Harry Kane leaves, we will be getting some good money, like around 130 or 140 or maybe 150 million. So if you get somewhere around that and utilize that money effectively with the help of a new head coach, then we might be in a position to do something next season or maybe the season after. I mean, it's something that I would say a kind of a rebuild is needed, that we have been saying from for the past 2 seasons. I would say since Pochettino left, there were a lot of dead woods that were growing up. We have got rid of, we at least in the way of getting rid of few people, like Sissoko and Audier. We have also, bid farewell to Danny Rose. It was sad to see him go that way, but it is what it is. But, I hope he comes back in future once he's done with his football, because he really loves Spurs, I would say. But anyway, that's a topic for a different discussion altogether. But for now, I would say, my personal opinion would be, if we want a success, it's either, a rebuild if we have limited cash, or if we have the cash that Enik wants to inflow in Spurs or at least in buying players, then we can go for a coach like Conte. Otherwise, it won't make any sense to hire a coach like Conte, or even previously we had Mourinho for the same way. But it won't make sense in that way. If we go with just cheap players and cheap alternatives rather than proven winners, then I don't see a reason why we are at least going to hire Conte.
I mean, some of the some of that why Conte rejected it. I'll put that to you, get your thoughts. Obviously, we haven't had it verified or validated whether it's true or not. But first thing was there was about a €3 million difference in the salary that Tottenham offered him and what he wanted. Secondly, he said he didn't want to work with certain young players, etc. And the third thing was he wanted to bring extra 4 staff with him from Italy. Tottenham didn't want that. These are. What do you think about those objections that Tottenham had to his joining the club? You think they're valid objections? Are they valid objections or not?
Look, I'm not in a position to say whether they were 3 million apart or not, because that's something.
No, I'm just saying. If you make that assumption, let's assume that it's true. What do you think about that? Do you think that's something Tottenham, one of the top managers in the world, you're saying, you paid Mourinho 15 million, you won't pay an extra 3 million to get this guy?
Well, absolutely. I mean, if I was in Levy's place, I would definitely do that. Okay, yeah. And as I mentioned, maybe the previous discussion that we had together. So that I told that I'm not Levy. If I was in Levy's place, then I would definitely have done everything possible to bring Conte here, because he's a proven winner. He has won the Serie A. He has won the Premier League with Chelsea as well. In his first season, minded, in his first season he has won the Premier League with Chelsea, and he is proven. He might be Mourinho in a more refined way. We see. There are a lot of people who says that, but I see him playing good football. I see him playing fast-paced football and also attractive football. I'm not sure about position, how much position he keeps, but it all depends on his playing style. And considering the current scenario, as we know that we need a rebuild. So Conte, I believe that Conte would have been a perfect candidate for now, at least, if we need an immediate success. If we are talking about long-term success, then there might be. Conte is not the correct manager, because he is that I'll come, I'll make changes, I'll achieve it, and I'll go. That's how his policy is.
But what I don't understand is Daniel Levy knows that he's that type of person. Why even start talking to him if you know that he's not the type of person you want?
Yeah, fair. I mean, I was having a similar doubt, but then again, I saw the video that was released by Alistair Gold the other night, and then I saw that Steve Hitchen was asked to release a list of players whom he wants as a successor as a new club. And there he was clearly mentioning, Mauricio Pochettino as his first choice, and there were some other names, maybe Eric Ten Hag, maybe Graham Potter, or someone else. But then, Levy was playing a different game altogether. So he just saw, hold on a minute, you got it. I mean, you gave me this, it's fine, but let me try this. So he even related it to the meme where it was saying, we were handing, there is a guy who is holding hands with a lady, and then he turns back and looks at another woman. So that's some kind of thing that we can relate to Levy.
Yeah,
He was trying to hold hand with Pochettino, and then he saw a Conte passing by. Then here you go, Conte, an attractive manager. Come on, let's take him up. Something like this.
Yeah, but Twitter is on fire at the moment. Basically, there's actually Levy is trending. Levy out, Levy this. He's got a lot of negative publicity against him now. So I don't know how he's going to recover from that. I mean, the only thing he could have done, if he'd have got Conte or Pochettino, that potentially could have allayed the Spurs fans. They would have been happy. Pochettino is not going to happen now because PSG said that he has to come out and say that he wants to leave and join Tottenham, but he won't do that. Conte is finished. So he's going to be our next manager. It's been nearly 60 days since we've sacked Mourinho. Sayan, who do you think's what's going to happen now? The Euros are happening as well next Friday. Unlikely anything's going to happen during the Euros. What do you think?
Honestly, at this point, I won't be surprised if I see Ran Messing staying back as a manager again. To be very frank, but if we have to be serious, then I would still consider Ten Hag as a candidate for Tottenham. Not sure whether he would be able to come because he just signed an extension. But if Levy can pull the strings, then maybe he can.
But let me put that to you, Sayan. So you're Eric Ten Hag. You've seen Tottenham go for Pochettino, they couldn't get him. You've seen Tottenham go for Conte, they couldn't get him. And now they're coming back to Ten Hag. He's going to say, well, I'm third choice for you. Why would I come somewhere with a third choice? I want to come somewhere where I'm first choice. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, absolutely. This is something. Look, football is nothing but on a managerial level, it's nothing but business. So if we can offer something which Ajax is offering and something more than what Ajax is offering, then I don't see a reason why Ten Hag won't be coming. But again, it's a full game of money. It might be sounding very harsh, but at the level of Levy or at the level of Enik and at the level of managements, it's all about money. So if you are giving money, you are getting good people. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Eric Ten Hag's pedigree, really. He's worked in the Eredivisie, which is a very poor league. There's not many good teams there. He also lost a 3-goal lead in 45 minutes to Tottenham, so maybe he's actually ideal for Tottenham because he's the key bottler. He bottled it to the bottlers, so maybe he's ideal for us. But, I don't know. I'm not sure Ten Hag's going to come. And we're left with people like Graham Potter, Scott Parker, Sam Allardyce, Roy Hodgson, all these people. Can you imagine? I mean, whoever comes now, it's just going to be so deflating. After a few days ago thinking that we could actually get Antonio Conte, a serial winner who's won 5 league titles in 7 years, to go from thinking you can get that type of guy in to going to, no disrespect, Graham Potter or Scott Parker, it's going to be really deflating, isn't it, Sayan?
Absolutely. I mean, it's nothing hiding in this fact that as from Conte to Graham Potter or whoever it is, it's obviously depressing. I mean, but again, I mean, if Graham Potter can, I am personally a very good fan of Graham Potter, especially the type of game he has played with Brighton. If he can pull things off, if he can take up the job at this particular level, and he can prove himself like Pochettino did. If he can do that, then he can do wonders at Spurs. I mean, it's nothing hiding in that. But again, it's a gamble that we all have to think about whether we can take at this stage.
Now, do you think the Tottenham fans are prepared to wait 5 years for a rebuild with another manager? To be, not to be very good and then get better. Do you think, because nowadays fans want immediate success. We've got one of the best stadiums in the world, best training facilities, the best striker in the world at the moment is with us. Can they wait? I mean, is that going to be enough to keep Harry Kane? To say Harry Kane, wait for a 5-year rebuild? He's going to be 33 then. He's not going to wait around for a 5-year rebuild, is he?
I don't think so. I mean, if we are going, that's what I've been saying. If we are going to rebuild, then it's a reality that we are losing Harry Kane. And if it's an immediate success that we are going to, which is very unlikely, and I don't see that happening, because if Antonio Conte is not coming, which means we are not going for an immediate success. And if we were going for immediate success, then we would have thought of keeping Harry Kane and building around him, or keeping key players like Kane, Son, and maybe Bergwijn. Or some 2 or 3 other players, and then building around them. If that's the case, then I guess Conte would have happened. And I believe that's not the case with Tottenham, and Levy is not thinking in that lines. He is starting to build a project once again from scratch, because Pochettino took Spurs to a level. So we are now to ground zero again, and now we are again starting to rebuild. So that's how things are going, or at least that seems to me, that's the case. So I don't see Harry Kane staying back. At least, we can convince him to stay this season. But next season, he's completely gone. That's how I look at it. However, if we get a good amount of cash from teams like Man City or any XYZ team, then I think it's time to bid goodbye to Harry Kane.
In terms of the rebuild, though, at that time with Pochettino, we had the stadium rebuild, everything like that. That's all part of it. We've got everything in place now. It's just a team that needs rebuilding, isn't it?
Well, yes. I mean, rebuilding is nothing but a team rebuilding. I mean, that's what we do, because now we have everything. We have the stadium, as you mentioned. We have the world-class training facility, and we have everything in hand. It's just that we need to invest in our squad, nothing else. Now, but that's the problem. I mean, every time we think that this is the season we are going to increase our squad or we are going to strengthen our squad, every season we come up with a plan which says that we have this much amount of depth in the in form of stadium revenues. And if that's going to be the case, and I'm very sorry, for the next 50 years, we're not going to spend anything in our club. If that's how the mentality is. However, if we think that yes, we are going to rebuild now and we are going to start a new project, which I'm absolutely inclined, in line with, because me being a Spurs fan from the time of 2009, 2008, I have seen Spurs for the last 10 to 15 years. So I have no issues in waiting for another 5 years and see for a rebuild, because it's in our pedigree. We Spurs fans are born to suffer. We Spurs fans are born to take the pain, and as it rightly says, Spurs until they kill me. So until and unless we are taken our lives out, and we take our lives out of us, we are going to support Spurs anyway. So that's how it is. So it doesn't matter. I mean, if it's 5 years or if it's 3 years, until and unless things are going good, because now it has drastically gone downwards from Champions League final to European Conference League. That's
and if you win the Conference League, you get access to the Europa League. Can you believe that? That's ridiculous. I mean, it's a third tier competition, but that's the level we're at now. So Sayan, we're going to wrap it up now. So final thoughts on just generally your hopes. What is a good? Okay, let's look forward to the next few weeks. What would you really want to see in the next few weeks happen at Tottenham to make you happy?
I will just say, let's focus on getting a new coach, at least be it whoever, and try to focus, on building the team. It's time to accept Harry Kane is leaving. Let's take the cash. Let's be like a Liverpool team. The thing that Liverpool did after selling, Coutinho, they picked up players like Salah, they picked up players like Firmino, they picked up players like Alisson Becker. So let's do the same thing. They sell Kane. If we are thinking in that line, so let's sell Harry Kane, pick up the cash, invest wisely in a good team, get a director of football. I think we are going for Paratici as the director of football. If I really don't know how good he is, but I think he's very good at signing free players. So let's see how good he is in getting good players to us. Get some good players, build the team, get some good attacking minded manager, and let's start the ball rolling. That's how I would like to see. I'm really curious to see. I mean, maybe we can have some talk in the next couple of weeks, and let's see how things going. But at this point, I'm very disappointed, and I'm not seeing anything positive around me right now, at least which is related to Spurs. So it's not a very good thing or a very good ambition that I'm having right now. So I prefer not to say anything different or give my suggestions right now. So let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks, and maybe we can have some other talks.
Okay. And one final thing before we go, your ideal next manager. Let's assume Ten Hag can't come. So who would you want in there?
Well, obviously, let's see if we can get a shot at Pochettino. If not, then Graham Potter. Otherwise, I don't see any other team or any other coach right now.
Okay, excellent. Well, Sayan, it's been great talking to you. Some really good thoughts and some really good analysis there about the Conte situation. Everybody remember to join India Spurs. We'll put their link in the description. This is Ray from London, Spurs 9501 podcast, talking exclusively to Sayan from Kolkata Spurs, giving his views on the Antonio Conte situation. We will be talking again to Sayan once everything dies down and a new manager is appointed. We'll come back to Sayan and we'll get his views. And Sayan, we'd like to do a live stream as well with a few fans from India, myself. Let's do a live stream and let's get some feedback from everybody. Let's set something up for the future, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's have some good news in Spurs, and then we will have a live stream together.
Okay, so you're going to give us a come on you Spurs before you go?
Come on, you Spurs.
Okay, Sayan, thank you very much. Again, it's a pleasure for you. Thank you very much for being on the stream. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
You've been listening to the Spurs 9501 podcast. Stay in touch, continue the debate, and let us know what you want to discuss by finding us on YouTube. Tune in after the next match day for more insight. Thanks for listening.